Live on YouTube. Okay. Live on YouTube.
Slight delay. Slight delay.
A little song.
And don't worry, that's his thing. He uses the dagger, and we have nicknamed him the Dagger Boy.
No, that's okay. It's not a bad nickname.
It took me 2 years. I mean, it took me like 6 months just to learn it. More than one verse. Yep, we're live. Oh, we're live. I just noticed that.
No matter where I am in the studio, the lighting's bad.
You're good. We all see you.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a few people watching.
We have a legend over here. Hey, come on, get reviewers, people.
So you guys, this is Rangers Live Chat. Of course, you guys know me, Krishna, as well as Ryan, aka Dagger Boy. And then we have our special guest. And I'm sorry if I butcher your last name. I'm the queen of butchering names. But we have Ron
Wasserman.
Wasserman.
That's okay. My mom said it wrong. I'm used to it.
Well, Ron, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I started in music when I was 3. I started playing piano and stuck with it. And at 5 o'clock, it's been a long day. At 5.5, wrote my first composition that got published into some finger practice magazines for piano players. And then all through school, played in every band, played clarinet, and piano and some drums, and was offered my first big gig in Vegas to play with this jazz band when I was 13, but I have performance anxiety, let alone being 13. So didn't take that, obviously, and kept plowing along and playing in bands, never really thought about making a living with it. And then in the 80s, ended up in a couple of the, not hair bands, but new wave bands.
Yeah.
Ended up getting signed with this girl named E.G. Daly, who played, she was Pee Wee Herman's girlfriend on his first movie.
Oh, wow.
But what was great about the band, it was very short-lived. I shouldn't say I was signed. She was signed, I was hired. But what was great about it is the bass player was a guy, and now I'm going to forget, Matt Bissonette, who went on to play with David Lee Roth and whatnot, and the drummer was Matt Sorum, who went on to be in Guns N' Roses. Mm-hmm. So it was a great band. Okay, so got through that time and was doing a lot of freelance engineering and work, and then was in a band that almost got signed many times, and then that band broke up, but one of those members went to go work for Saban Entertainment.
Oh, wow.
And in 89, he called me and he said, why don't you come over for one night and just engineer, meaning the composer is going to write a cue and you're going to mix it for him. And I'd never seen or been in a television session. So I sat with him and we chatted for the first 7 hours. And then the 8th hour, he banged out 3 cues. And for that, he got $450. Now I'm practically living out of trash cans at this time of my life. So I went, I'm going to learn how to do this. So I weaseled my way into Saban whenever they weren't using the place. My friend said, yeah, just use the studio and learn about all this stuff on your own. And then they hired me in full-time just to mix cues for other composers. And I kept writing and submitting stuff to producers, and they were giving me very harsh, realistic, real-world notes. And I think I had a couple little things in a couple videos, maybe. I'm not really sure. And then one day they walked in with the idea for Power Rangers. And like I said, I've said in other interviews, I don't remember if they had footage for me. They just said it's called Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And I remember going, morphine? How do you say morphin? Morphin. I remember like phonetically writing it out. And I was actually working on a song with my wife's band that night. So I was upset that I had to do this theme. So I decided I got to get this thing done. True story, but I mean, lightning struck. And so I banged the theme out in 2.5 hours with my guide vocal. And the next day they called and they said, Fox loves the theme. And I said, great, who are we going to have sing it? And they said, no, Fox loves the theme. We're going to use it that way. And I've had 2 weeks off since. I think 3, but definitely 2 weeks off since. And I've either fully scored or at least been a contributing composer on now about 3,300 episodes of television.
Oh, wow.
So it's been a great adventure.
Well, again, viewers, thank you so much. If you are barely joining us, if you have any questions for Ron, please go ahead and leave them on the comment section below, as well as YouTube. So go ahead and leave them there. Either me or Ryan will take a look at the end of all the questions. So, Ron.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and ask this. We always do this game, and I know you won't know any Power Rangers trivia, but
I probably won't.
it's okay. We're going to give you a challenge.
All right.
Can you, I know you have stage fright with a live audience, right?
Yes.
Okay. You have to make a song about headphones. That's the only thing.
Headphones.
Headphones?
Headphones, they're so cool when you wear them. You don't look like a fool, unlike that asshole who's playing them on the subway and playing his crap too loud, like Britney Spears or Justin Bieber, who I fucking hate. There are no leaders. I like the old days when there were rock bands, but now everything's like McDonald's, and it sucks.
That was awesome.
How ironic, I just happened to be sitting at the piano. I decided to position myself here.
Piano.
We're like, where did that come from?
I know, right? And I had no idea they were going to ask me to do this, believe me.
Okay, Ryan, you're next up on the questions.
Okay. Did you see yourself as an artist growing up?
Yeah, I was pretty sure I was different because everybody else was out playing baseball, football, golfing, doing sports with their parents, and I was more interested in either playing piano or I had back then it was 8mm film camera, and I would shoot like all my buddies on their skateboards and then edit together stuff and try to sync up music to it. So it was pretty obvious that was my destiny. And always, just been outside of the box, the average box. All the guys are together, and then I say something, and they look at me like, weird. That Wasserman guy is weird. So, yeah, I think so. But now that's like way more common. There's so many more artists. They're more accepted when they're young. It's very different than when I grew up and everybody was macho man.
What made you get started with all being part of the music biz? What, something from your childhood or being in a class?
It just was in my blood. My mom used to tell me that even prior to me playing piano at 3, that I would sleep with records. And I wasn't interested in stuffed toys. And even in the crib, when I could try, when she was playing music on the record player, I was trying to climb out and get over to that record player and probably pick some better stuff than she would have played. But I think it's just always been in my DNA.
Mhm.
It's the one thing I do really, really well. And I know all my other limitations. But that one thing is just, it's like you meet certain kids, like my son's friends, and they're like mathematical geniuses by the time they're 11 or 12. They're just wired that way.
Mhm.
And then there's me using a calculator going, all right, 2 + 3 - 1, wrong. It's very different. So I think that's what it is. It's in my blood.
All right, Ron. So, how did you get involved with Power Rangers?
Like I said, in '92, they came to me with the concept of the show or footage of the show. And I know there'd been one prior incarnation that they were going to call Metal Man. And it was, I think, different footage. And I remember doing a rock thing for it, and the whole project fell apart, meaning they went to pitch it to a network, and the network just said, no, we're not interested. So it was just total luck that they decided to come to me for that theme that night. And it probably came down to they got all the information and rights late that day and had a meeting at Fox the next day, and I was the only composer there. And they probably just said, oh, give him a shot at it.
What is your favorite song and why?
We Need a Hero, because it's the saddest song. And I think it stood the test of time because I was seeing the decline in leadership. And regardless of, this week, aside even from this week, it was just looking like these powerful people, even though I was, a baby when Kennedy was shot. But I mean, there were other leaders in the world that I'd read about and grew up learning about. And they were these powerful people. And then all of a sudden it seemed to shift to TV actors became the new leaders. And then with a SAG writer's strike, when they figured that they could do stuff for free, then it suddenly became TV reality stars that became the big leaders. And they are today. Our country's leader will be that. So it's pretty interesting. So the whole We Need a Hero concept was about a stable, true leader to get us and guide us through this increasingly complicated world.
When you're talking about We Need a Hero, you mean the song in the soundtrack of Mighty Morphin?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's all about that song.
Actually, to add it to that, I know you wrote multiple seasons, seasons of multiple seasons. Which, besides Mighty Morphin, which one did you enjoy writing the most?
Oh, season 1, because I came out of the gate with fight and combat.
I meant besides season 1.
Well, if I did 3 seasons, then I'm going to tell you why too. And then would have started being season 2, because somewhere in season 2 or the beginning of season 3 is when things started getting very political, and Al Gore and his wife Tipper Gore started saying, because Haim Saban is friends with all those people. They said, tone it down on the violence in the songs. There's a lot of bad stuff going on. So when you suddenly start having all these restrictions, like only use major chords, and people don't know that, so that'd be like going from to. So you sit there and you're right. So I tried to leave the middle out. So you'd have that, but occasionally I'd put in that. So, and sneak in a few minor chords. So once you start having the restrictions and then the list of don't use the word fight, don't use the word combat, don't use anything that incites violence, don't. So you start, it starts to restrict your artistic flow a bit. So that's why.
So one more add-on. Is it true you wrote a segment for Mystic Force? Like,
Power Rangers, Mystic Force. Yeah. I
oh yeah,
remember writing that. Yeah.
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 It's
Yeah.
like,
So I don't know if, oh, no, 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 no. Oh, here's what happened.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, Disney, because SPD had done so
Yes.
well, they wanted me to write the theme for Mystic Force. So I sent a rock theme, which Disney loved.
mm,
And then some producer, as Disney put it to me, they go, so he's driving in today and he's listening to rap, and now he's decided the show should be rap. Do you want to take a crack at it? And I said, it's going to suck, but I'll do it because just to do it, because who knows, maybe the other people submitting, maybe theirs will suck even more.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent it and I said, here it is. It sucks. And the guy at Disney wrote back and he goes, yep. We had a great laugh over it. I mean, you have to have that kind of relationship
Mm-hmm.
with executives. So I appreciated his honesty, and I'm sure he appreciated mine.
I like that, especially I'm in marketing myself, and I call it how it is.
Yep.
It's how it is, how long you spend it, and how much effort you put on it. Then, if that's what you're going to deliver, be honest, and then they'll understand your point of view.
Yeah. The unfortunate mistake, not unfortunate, I don't regret it, but the mistake I made is then I posted them online, and that got Disney very upset. It wasn't because I was disclosing the name of the show; it was already known. But I think, it made them look bad because they were getting emails and letters, even in 2005, letters and phone calls saying the rock theme's great. What are you guys doing to our show? And so I think Disney got embarrassed. So when a corporation gets embarrassed, they're going to call me and take it out on me.
I see. I mean, I did listen to it. It was actually really good.
The rock theme was good. And the thing is, it's not like it wasn't this groundbreaking innovative change. It was just the sound. And when they said SPD, we've never had a reaction like that from a theme. You think they would just be, and that was even, to me, it's great, but it's the old sound of the show, but it's what people wanted. So you would have thought that they would go like, let's stick with what our demographic is responding best to. But that's another thing that's happened in the business a little bit. And some of the corporations have suffered from it is you have a small group of producers that are in a bubble and they go, no, this is what I want. And so Chaim bought it back. And now he's going to have this movie, which will probably do very, very well, I hope.
Yeah. I mean, I have it here.
Dozen likes, everyone. I have to admit that is much better than what premiered. So.
Yeah, except for that bad guys line. But, that would have got rewritten. I think, it was a rather quick submission, and I remember even sending it and saying there's a couple lines in here that could be better than, make the bad guys go away. But things were starting to become so gentrified that you also had to be very careful. So if you came up with a harder line, they might go, oh, no, back that down to like bad guys or something. Because, we're getting a lot of complaints. So you never know. You have to, it's a delicate balance, as in marketing.
Of course. I get it every single day.
Yeah.
Opinions definitely matters. What inspires you? What inspires you to write and compose music?
Usually what happens, not always, but usually what happens is, this is kind of different with themes. If they can send me some info on the theme, usually the basics of it pop into my head almost immediately. And then the thing is to get to one of the recorders. I have handheld recorders everywhere and get the idea in. once the show is going, I've literally had times where producers have called. I was doing a show with Cedric the Entertainer called The Soul Man, and they said, we need a gospel song. And all of a sudden, I heard the whole thing, and I know the guy well, so it was okay. I hung up on him and got right to it and recorded in the basic track, and then we worked it up. And it was a track with him and the, why is his name slipping on? Da 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 da. Fuck you. Who is that? Who's that guy? He was like huge for somebody Google. I'm afraid to Google anything because then this screen will disappear.
Someone who's watching, please Google it and we'll find out who it is, or we'll find out later on.
It was for him and Cedric the Entertainer to sing, and it turned out great, and it was a great scene on a show that nobody really watched because it was never promoted, but that was that particular network. But those ideas just come to me very quick. Same thing with when I was doing advertising. As long as I had a concept, what would generally happen is they would go, here's what we want and here's what we want to sound like, and I would do the exact opposite and usually get the gig.
I see. So Ron, what has been your favorite song you have created?
It's going to be with my wife under the band name Fisher, Fisher. It's a song called I Will Love You, and the reason that's my favorite song is it's the reason that we got a deal with Universal Music back in 2000 because we became the biggest thing online. But secondly, there's probably been, aside from this helped me, and I've gotten this on Power Rangers too, but this particular song, I Will Love You, has far outweighed the other thing. People preventing themselves from killing themselves.
Oh.
It got them through that time. So you balance that out and you just go, that's great. Or, with Power Ranger stuff, when I've gotten things saying my dad died young and my mom was always beating me, so I'd be in the corner of my room listening to your stuff, and hard to hear that stuff. It really is. But that's when you just realize it's a blessing. I've never had any ego about it at all. None of it's precious. It's all a gift. I have no idea where it comes from. I'm just here to write it down and scream it out sometimes.
What has been the longest time you have worked on a song, and what was that song?
The theme song for the Kirstie Alley show, which we did one season, 8-second theme, every day, not all day, every day, but every day, 6 months.
Wow.
That was a very bad time.
Oh.
And at the end, I quit. I said, I'm done. And they called back 5 minutes later and said, okay, we're going with your theme. The thing is, they were being very indecisive about everything. So they drag everybody over the coals when that happens.
Yeah. Because
they know they've got a huge problem with the script and everything else. That's what happens. But that one almost gave me a stroke.
Wow.
I mean, every time the phone would ring, I'm like, oh, no, it's about that 8-second theme again. But at the same time, it's like, I've got to get it. Not for any monetary gain. It's just, I've got to get over this hurdle. It's like running into a wall. And that was it. There was 12 episodes. I think they aired them once, and it quietly went away. Like a few other shows I've done. It's fine. That one should go away.
Okay, Ron, if you could write about a song about a TV show, movie, what would it be?
Can it be score, or does it have to be a song with lyrics?
I meant score, sorry, score.
Score. I would, for television, I would absolutely love to do a 1-hour drama that would allow me to do like some form of original scoring. Because like right now, when you have the serious scenes, if this was strings while they're talking, going, we don't know where her body went. She's found somewhere back there. and it just sits way in the background. And then they go, well, we better get back to the station and look into it. And then you hear, and then they fade it out and you're in the police station. I mean, it's a traditional score that's gone on with everything. But a show like I Am Robot or whatnot, where they have very high-tech rhythms going on and little sounds, I would love to do something like that. On the film side, which I will never do because, you know, you have to spend years to get into that. Definitely, you know, Marvel. What else?
I'm a Marvel fan, so.
Yeah, the only thing I would do is I would add, which Marvel doesn't do, I would add a memorable theme.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which they don't do. The scores are great. They fit, and maybe that's what they're going for, this very minimalistic thing, and it works, and boy, their sales are huge, so I don't know anything. But those films and that vibe, and they have a full orchestra, yet I'd add a lot of synth stuff and a lot of rock stuff would be, I'd have a lot of energy for that.
You mentioned this earlier during the live chat. What do you think the music for the new Power Ranger movie needs to be? What kind of route or what kind of music do they need to play? Or have you ever had any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, when they originally started off and then it was Power Rangers reboot and we're going to stay true to the original, and people were saying, you need to get involved because it's going to be just like the original. And I said, here's what's going to be original, the same as the original. It's going to be called Power Rangers something. Other than that, it's going to be completely different, heavy CGI, full orchestral score. Not to discount that composer, it'll probably be great, but you know, when you have something that exploded and did so well, and music was such a huge part of it, as Haim Saban has admitted himself, you think they might really devote part of the score to that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you can't really make it part. So if I was doing it, I would say I'm going to hire the top hardcore, badass, death metal musicians, and we'll turn it into something remarkable.
Before we have the next question, I'll have Ryan ask that. Again, viewers, if you are watching, please go ahead. I know it's late. If you have any questions for Ron, make sure you leave them in the comments below on Facebook or as well as YouTube. We'll take a look at the questions in a few moments. Ryan, next question.
All right, Ron. I mean, you don't need to do it if you don't want to, but can you sing your theme song for us?
You know, I've always had to...
or play it.
Well, I've always had to warm up into that so much. So, because I have to get that gritty, screaming nasal voice. So, I mean, this may sound awful, and I'm not even sure I'm in the right key, and it's too low on the piano. So we'll start from the... I've never done this. They've got a power and a force that you've never seen before. They've got the ability to morph and to even up the score. No one can ever take them down. The power lies on their side.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah. I have to, usually, as it's noted, I have to gargle like ice cold Coke Zero, but to like tighten the chords.
Yeah. What happened to the Dr. Pepper? I saw that interview back in PMC number 3, and you said Dr. Pepper.
Did I? I was probably in the Dr. Pepper then. It was usually Diet Pepsi way back, but it was whatever would tighten those chords.
Oh, wow.
And then start stacking the vocals. And really, even when I recut the stuff in 2012, I would like run through the song once, not even in record, and then maybe on the second take I'd start recording, because you just have to. I'm almost because I sing so wrong because I'm not a real singer. So it comes from my sinuses and my throat.
Mm-hmm.
So back when I was even doing the vocals, I can't even see straight afterwards because it's put so much pressure behind the eyes.
Before we go to our live questions, I know Ryan has his usual fun questions. Go, Ryan.
All right, this will be. Let me do a special effects here. Make it more fun.
Oh.
Hold up.
It's all right.
You'll like this.
Yes. And
You've added a Google effect. Do I have to hit use app?
No. He
Okay.
has it there.
All right, so quickly, maybe 30 seconds, you have to answer my fun questions.
All right.
Gotta start the timer. Okay.
That is way better.
Oh, that's better. Favorite movie. All right, let's get on to it. Favorite movie. What's your favorite movie?
What dreams may come.
Okay. Favorite TV show.
Southland.
Awesome. Do you have a favorite cartoon?
Family Guy.
Sweet. Favorite superhero.
Oh. Marvel.
Favorite Marvel superhero then.
No, I know. How can I not? Iron Man.
Team Cap. Just kidding. Anyway, favorite food.
Oh God, hamburgers.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a health eater. Well, not my favorite. I guess high-end steak, filet mignon. Okay.
Ah, dang. You have a favorite cartoon character?
SpongeBob.
Sweet. Person you looked up to most. Person you looked up to the most.
My mom.
Aw.
How about a fictional person?
George Gershwin.
Sweet. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Sweet. Yeah, that's it's a favorite Star Wars character.
Oh, in the latest one, the little
BB-8.
The little, yeah. Thank you. I called him Vacuum Rumba.
Okay. Your favorite Power Ranger?
Pink, MMPR, Pink Ranger, Amy Jo Johnson.
Oh, shout out to Amy. Hey, she likes. Thank you, Ron. That's my fun questions for you.
Yeah, what's gonna happen now?
Now we have the viewers' questions.
Yes.
Ken Lamb, what are you up to now with your music, and would you be welcome to score Power Rangers again?
I would love to do the show again, but I don't think it'll ever happen because Noam, when Saban bought it back, he had Noam Keneal doing it, and I know Noam. And then Noam just recently brought somebody else on to work with him on the show. So, and I wonder sometimes if I haven't caused Saban a lot of anguish with people knowing that I wrote the score, but his name's on everything.
Oh.
So that may be an embarrassment, possibly. Or he couldn't care less. I have no idea. But I don't think, but yeah, would I be open to it? Yeah.
We still
loved it if they would have called for the film and just said, hey, do you want to sing the theme or can we use the version you did, whatever?
Yeah, I mean, he brought back Jed Lynn for Power Rangers. So hopefully, he's like, oh, he brought back this guy. And he won, in my opinion, he made one of the best Power Ranger seasons, besides post MMPR.
Yeah.
Your theme songs for it were amazing. I grew up with In Space and Time Force. Time Force, In Space. I love Space a lot.
Well, time will tell, but I'm not waiting for that phone to ring.
You'll keep busy.
Yeah.
Josh, our friend Josh Wentworth. Ron, do you think that too many hands in plot restrictions, the directions, and attempt to make music for a franchise?
I'm not 100% clear on that. So is he saying, if there's too many cooks in the kitchen, does that do damage?
I think so. I think that's what he means.
If that's what he means, absolutely. The most successful projects that I've dealt with are, and HBO had this. Let's take The Sopranos, for example, when they were at their peak and they had everything. HBO was the big leader. And now Amazon and Netflix do this to a degree, and it's paid off very well. They let the writers write, the director direct. Now, in the production company, there could be meetings and a little pressure. The composer composes. Everybody does their individual job. You hire the people because they specialize in that thing. But what happens on most shows would be the equivalent of this, and I'm not exaggerating. Me going to the dentist, who's going to do a root canal on me and has been doing that for 25 years and been successful. And he starts, and I ask for a mirror, and I start giving him notes on what I think he should do. And if he wants to get paid, he'll do them. And that's what you deal with a lot in this business. People who go, look, I don't even know how to describe this to you because I know nothing about music. I don't even understand how it works. But what you're doing is not what I want, but I can't tell you what I want. And I've learned to interpret those notes. I've gotten those notes in the past. It's been quite a while.
Kent Brown, you composed the villain music. If you did, how did you come up for Rita and Zed's songs?
Now?
How did you?
Yeah. Oh, how did I? Well, Rita's was, from what I remember, kind of Lord Zed was takeoff on John Williams on Darth Vader's score.
Oh, wow.
Because I can't remember John Williams off the top of my head. The Darth Vader score.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, so his was. And mine was, I can't remember mine.
We'll used to it.
Yeah, anyways, that's what that came off. Rita and like Bulk and Skull was to lighten it up and add that kind of crazy stuff. And with Bulk and Skull, what I used is that high little muted trumpet with a. I used that, and then for Bulk, I used the tuba with the fat and skinny. So, and they got a real kick out of it. I told them that a few years ago. They never even realized. So just looking at the characters, I used a sound for each of them.
You playing those all those notes, that's all nostalgia for us.
Yeah.
We're in our 20s and our 30s, and we're just loving it. We're just like dying because it's something that we remember from our childhood, especially the Bulk and Skull.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it was like, and there was a little pitch bend, which a piano doesn't have for that. So it was. Something like that, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh yeah, now I remember the And then you get to that point, and you're like, what the hell do I do next? Because that's the phrase that people are going to remember. So, but yeah, it was based. It was tip of the hat to John Williams.
Our last question, which is on YouTube, Thai films. Did you think the route of Power Rangers has taken throughout the years up to now? Did you see it growing as much as it has?
No, never in a million years. I mean, when it really took off initially, and I remember I lived in the Hollywood Hills, and across from us was Universal Studios, and they had the amphitheater there, and they were going to hold a live Power Ranger event. And my wife and I think we were married time. Anyways, so we had to walk from the Hollywood Hills, not bad, like a 2-mile walk, to the amphitheater because the traffic was blocked up on every side street, and the freeway was jammed for 5 miles straight. And I just remember sitting, and they were very careful where they put me. I was off in the right section, maybe 40 rows back. But when that room lit up and the whole room was singing Go Go Power Rangers, I went, this is neat. This is cool. I hope it lasts. Let's see where this goes.
Aw.
And it was just good to be associated with something that so many people knew. That's always really fun.
Yes. And again, when we have live guests, even if they are a voice actor, we ask them to do something for us. So when I got started with Rangers Live Chat, I always thought of what would the theme song be? And I always taken back with the in space. It would be Rangers Live Chat. Can you come up with something for us real quick?
Yeah.
So that's the title, Rangers Live Chat.
Yes, and it's a montage too in space. That's what I thought of. Rangers Live Chat. When it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Rangers in space. Now Ryan's laughing at me.
So it'd be like, Rangers Live Chat, right?
Yes.
Am I on track there?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So it'd be like, there we go again with Rangers Live Chat, where there's no bullshit. That good? You know, all I could think of with rhymes. Chat.
Ron, can I have one more request?
Okay.
Last request.
My last
No,
question.
it's fine.
Sam Daggerboy, can you do the Dragon Zord like flute theme song, and I'll do it with you? Yeah, like
I'm gonna need the reminder. Play a little bit.
Din, 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 din.
Yeah. So, I don't remember the whole thing. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I apologize.
But again, Ron, we thank you for joining us here tonight on Rangers Live Chat.
Thank you very much.
Do you have any last words for any of your fans or anybody that has stayed with Power Rangers and remembers hearing all your scores as well as the music from way back then? Is there any last words?
Well, I sincerely appreciate it. I mean, it's been 24 years now, and to still get a lot of Facebook contacts about it every day this far down the road. I mean, I left the show and didn't look back long before almost everybody who writes me was born. So to have that impact is great, and it's been an honor for me. And it's gotten me out of some bad days, and some days when I was too busy, it put me in kind of a bad mood. So I'm joking. But it's what more could you ask for? I mean, really, to get that recognition.
Yes.
So thank you.
And of course, we have asked Ron to do the lip sync battle challenge, which is the reason why, if you haven't heard, if he does have time, we're not going to hold him to it. We're trying to bring positivity onto Facebook because we don't want to see any negative from the past week. So if he has time, please give us some likes if you want Ron to do the lip sync battle challenge.
But I don't want to do it to something I did. So let's pick something really odd, but positive.
Leave song choices below, and we'll let him know what song choices. So leave your song choices on the comment sections, and hopefully if there is any, he'll look at it and pick a song from there if he knows it, because you can't do lip sync if you don't know the words to it, and then you'll be like,
yeah, really.
So again, you guys, of course, you guys have me, Krishna, and
the theme from Barney.
And then you have Ryan, of course, Dagger Boy. And then I think Ron's going to play his sound. And of course, we have our special guest, Ron Wasserman.
Thank you very much.
So again, you guys, we're going to end the show with our usual wave to sign off. So again, have a good night, and this is Rangers Live Chat. Bye, guys. So we can just keep on waving until we end the show.